Chapter 6. How sure are you? I feel like Julia sounds like Yoda at the end of this portion, and it's great. It's awesome. Um, there's this idea of certainty, and a lot of people say they're 100% certain of things. But let's be real here. 100% certain, nobody can be 100% certain of anything. Heck, we can't even be sure of our existence, or if this is the Matrix or anything, or even about God, right? So 100% sure is really an overstatement. And what this chapter or what this portion, introduces us to is, well, how about we take a nuanced approach? Why don't we find ways so that you can know if you're maybe 95% certain or 75% certain? And then also to find a way how to gauge your degree of certainty and to even be accurate in the first place. So, and this is with opinions, a lot of people are motivated to believe things that work to their favor. This is about dispelling all of that and seeing, okay, so how much do you really, how certain are you about that? Great, so she went through all of the Star Trek like series possible to come up with a diagram or a graph that says, that correlates Spock's theories of very likely, unlikely, etc., kind of likely, or just likely. And you realize that the more times he says that something is very likely, usually never happens 17% of the time. And when he says something's impossible, it happens 83% of the time. So interesting, 83%. See, so that actually adds up to 100%, which I think is interesting. Man, it's interesting. So there's impossible, there's like absolute certainty, 99.5 and above, and those are the most skewed. So, but now what's interesting is, that must have been a fun project to graph, is now there's going to be questions turned onto the reader, and the reader has to answer, detailed, if he or she wants to get an accurate idea of what their, how likely are they to be correct when they have an opinion, or they have the chances of probability being such and such. So here we go. Let's go for it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take this live, because why not? This, obviously, why miss the opportunity of actually going through it? It's great insight from recording myself and hearing how I think about these things live. Okay, so calibration practice. Circle your answers. Okay, round 1. Are these animal facts true or false? How sure are you? Okay, let's see. The elephant is the world's largest mammal. I am 100% true that is false. Because I know at least... Oh, wait. Sorry. No. Hold up. I gotta think nuanced. Well, yeah, I always kind of do this with myself. So, now, I'm pretty sure the blue whale is a mammal. I'm pretty sure. When I think about it, I had to double check, in my head, but I am pretty sure that blue whales are mammals, and that the elephant is not the world's largest mammal. So yeah, I know that's false, and I'm 100% sure of that. So there we go. We'll see. Sea otters sometimes hold hands while they sleep. I have no idea. So I'll just say false for default. and I'll put 55% because I do not know this one. Centipedes have more legs than any other animal. Again, I would say that I have no idea, so I would say centipedes have more legs than other animals. Again, I'll go false, 55%. There's mammals and dinosaurs coexisted. This is an interesting one. I'll go 85% with this one. I'm very likely. I feel like it's very likely that they have. I don't see why not. I really don't see why not. But there may be room for, error. So there we go. So we'll go 85% with that. Maybe I'm second guessing myself. Normally I would say 100%, and that does make sense to me. But then there's the whole idea of dinosaurs even existing in the first place, right? Right? And yeah, so because of that, that's also saying like I believe dinosaurs did exist, but maybe there's a chance that the bones are fabricated. I don't know. Again, I'm not gonna state 100%. Bears can't climb trees. I think that's false, and I'll give that a 65% chance for that. I feel like it's nuanced. Climb. I mean, like climb as I think they can. I really do think they can. So by saying false, I'm saying they can climb trees, and that's saying 65%. Okay, so let's see 6. Camels store water in their humps. No, I'm sure that they don't. I know that my wife told me a while ago, but my wife may be wrong. But I think this is false. But I do believe in my wife, so I know that's kind of biased. I'm doing the whole conforming thing because you respect somebody. But camels store water in their humps. So I would say false, and I would say I'm like 85. I want to say like 95 actually. I want to say that it's 95%. I'll give room for doubt. 85, because I mean, again, it can be nuanced. Like there is probably water somewhere in that hump. So can you really say? I mean, like again, I'm also being nitpicky, but it's like, well, I mean, they can store, right, in their hump, and some of these might even be trick questions. I don't know. It might be due to nuance. Even if it's not, whether it is or not, I'm gonna take it seriously, and this is my thought process. So, okay, next one. We got, so that last one was 85% false. Next one, 7. Flamingos are pink because they eat shrimps. I have no idea, so I'm just gonna say false, 55%, but I don't know. Okay, and then 8. The giant panda eats mostly bamboo. I honestly don't know. I have somewhat of like exposure to seeing stuff like that, but I would say true, and I'll go 65% because it's not like I'm completely off, but I'm not gonna leave that. Like I'm not gonna put too much faith in that, although it has been shown. A mule is a cross between a male donkey and a female horse. I have heard of this before. I'll go 75% true. But then again, we don't know the truth, the true truth, because maybe there's something about it, that's not true. So, actually, because of that, I'll even put it down to 65% for number 9, true, because it might be. But honestly, I don't have enough expertise to even have the authority to say that at all. 10. A mule is a cross. Okay, so that's. Oh, okay. Wait, sorry. Oh, so that was actually the last one. Sorry. So that was number 10. Is 65% true. Let's look at number 9 again. The platypus. The platypus is the only mammal that lays eggs. That is interesting. It may be not. Birds are not mammals, are they? See, again, so because I don't know this, I almost want to say it's a complete trick question, but if I wanted to take away the whole thought of trick question, and there's probably a little bit of maybe I don't know if there's wordplay. See, how certain am I that a lot of this is wordplay, right? I actually see this as a nuanced answer too. I don't think there's necessarily like wordplay. There might be slight wordplay, semantics, that comes into this, but at the same time, like just taking it head on. I do believe that some of these are probably held beliefs, well kind of well spread facts that are supposed to be obvious that aren't as obvious as a lot of people think them to be. So I do think that there is definitely, it might not be semantics, but it may be kind of how certain am I that a lot of this is, I'm 100% certain that there's a point that is being tried to being made here and that a lot of these questions are set up so that they challenge what you really believe, and then there's going to be like, well, you thought that the elephant was, the largest animal, but guess what? Actually, the blue whale is, stuff like that. So that's how I see this. So yeah, no, I'm aware of that. I'm coming into this a bit skeptical, but again, this is how I take it. So anyways, and I'm skeptical about even my own answers too. So, but no, this is a fun game. Okay, so that's 10. Okay, wait. The platypus is the only mammal that lays eggs. Again, I will say the only mammal. No, I'm not gonna take that. I'll go 50. Do I want to even take a little bit of risk? Platypus is the only mammal that lays eggs. True, 65%. Just a little, or you have no idea. Let's admit that I have no idea. Let's admit that. Again, this is also a test of like, how willing are you to admit that you honestly have no clue. And if I'm struggling because I'm thinking this is a trick question, that's, to me, I feel like that's not the point. Is it, whether it is or not, the main thing that you're gauging is, if you're not confident about it, then are you going to say you're confident about it? That's the thing. Now, flipping this on its head, do I believe that there's going to be a bit of trickery here? And that I have 85%. I'm 85% sure that it's set up so that there's a bit, I don't even want to say it's trickery. That's not the right word. But it's set up so that, yeah, it's to surprise you. So let's see how things go. Still though, I'm a bit competitive, so I'm like, no, I want to see if I, how well I can do it. But regardless of being competitive or not, I think honesty is the best policy. So here we go. Okay, so round 2. Which historical figure was born first, Julius Caesar or Confucius? I would say Confucius. Again, like, how sure are you? 75%. So I'll say Confucius and 75%. Okay, 12. Fidel Castro or Mahatma Gandhi? I would think Mahatma Gandhi. Fidel Castro. And I know that I have to say 55% Mahatma Gandhi. I really do not know. Confucius, I have a feeling he is, but again, that's 75%. Nelson Mandela or Anne Frank? I believe it's Anne Frank, but again, I don't know this, so I would say 55%. Frank. Let's see. Anne Frank. Would I say Anne Frank? Anne Frank 55%. Like, that's if I had to choose, but I honestly don't know. Cleopatra or Muhammad? Cleopatra or Muhammad? I would say Cleopatra, but I'm gonna say Cleo 65%. Again, I'm not that certain. Okay, William Shakespeare or Joan of Arc? I think Joan of Arc, I have a strong inclination that I believe it is. So 85%. I almost want to say 95%. I do have a very strong feeling it's Joan of Arc. So if I'm already at 85, I might as well bump it at 95. So we'll go 95%. 95. You know, bordering 100, you know. George Washington or Sun Tzu? I feel the same thing with Sun Tzu. I really think so. 95%. I think so. I really do. I know it's a strong opinion. Am I being careful or am I being overconfident? See? Then I have to attach a probability to that too. Now see, this is fun if you get deep into it. Okay, so anyways, 17. Genghis Khan or Leonardo da Vinci? I want to say Leonardo da Vinci is older. I mean, sorry, is not back to Genghis Khan. I think Genghis Khan is definitely older. And I want to say 75% because, again, I'm not that certain. I'm somewhat certain, but not completely. 18. Queen Victoria or Karl Marx? I'm gonna love to see how, like, this data is actually, like, what it tells about you and how right you are compared to your certainty. Oh, I'm very interested what the percentages are. So anyways, though, Queen Victoria or Karl Marx? I think Karl Marx was born after, so I'll say Queen Victoria. I want to say Victoria. Victoria, though. I know Queen Elizabeth. Queen Victoria. How is this from the Victorian era? In that case, yeah, I would say 95%. I don't know if it's the Queen Victoria that we're talking about or like another queen, but I don't care. That's what I'm thinking. Saddam Hussein or Marilyn Monroe? Saddam Hussein or Marilyn Monroe? I would say Marilyn Monroe, but I would still only be 65% correct. Marilyn Monroe will go 65%. Okay, and 20. Albert Einstein or Mao Zedong? I think Albert Einstein, but I'm only 75%. I'm only 65% sure. And it very well may be Mao Zedong that was... yeah, when I think about it, this is really a 55%. And I do think Mao was born earlier. I'll stick with Albert Einstein. 5% though. Okay, round 3. Which country had more people in 2019? This is something outside my expertise, but I will give it my best. Germany or France? 2019. Let's go Germany. We'll go Germany. it's really faulty. I still think it's 55%. Like, even though I'm thinking of Germany, I'm basing my logic off something that's very very weak. Okay, so Japan or South Korea? Japan or South Korea? I'm thinking Japan. And I'll put 75%. I know it's very crowded there. But then again, I don't know how big Korea is. I feel so bad, I don't know. Do I still want to go for it? No, if I don't know, I'll still stick with Japan, but I'll go down to 65%. So there's that. Okay, 23. Brazil or Argentina? I have no idea. This is a throw, so 55% Brazil. Why not? 24. Egypt or, again, I'll just go Egypt's 55%. 25. Mexico or Guatemala? Again, I am not sure, so we'll go Mexico 55%. 26. Panama or Belize? I don't know these countries, so Belize 55%. 27. Jamaica or Haiti? So I'm just gonna go again Jamaica 55%. So this is really like a true and false kind of situation. Let's see. Okay, 28. Let's see. 28. Greece or Norway? Again, Norway 55%. I'm not well versed with these ones. China or India? I would believe it's China, but I still have maybe a 75%. Iraq or Iran? It's a throw up to me. Iran, 55%. Okay, so round 4. Are these science facts true or false? Okay, this is gonna be interesting. So, here we go. 31. Man has one moon. Sorry, Mars has one moon, just like Earth. This is a throw up for me because I have no idea. So I'm just gonna say Mars has one moon, just like Earth. False, 55%. 32. Scurvy is caused by a deficit of vitamin C. I don't know. False, 55%. 33. Brass is made from iron and copper. I don't know this either. I won't contend with that. 55%. 1 tablespoon of oil has more calories than 1 tablespoon of butter. It depends on what oil, I think. And butter. So this one, it's nuanced, but if I were to say what is more proportionally fat, is butter all fat? No, I don't think so. And oil is mostly fat. But they're all fat. I feel like it'll be 55%. So what would I choose anyway though? 1 tablespoon of oil versus 1 tablespoon of butter. I'll go with the oil. So, true. this one, 55%. 35, helium is the lightest element. I'm not sure about that. It sounds good, so true, 55%. 36, the common cold is caused by bacteria. True or false? The common cold is caused by bacteria. Common cold is caused by bacteria. Bacteria or viruses? Common cold. We'll say true, 55%. Again, not a big science person, nor do I want to claim that I know science better than other people, or to even make these judgments. See, 37, the deepest place on Earth is the Pacific Ocean. I don't know that either. I do want to say that's false, but we'll see. 55%. Okay, so let's move a little bit forward. Okay, we're almost there. Just 3 more. Or 38, 39, and 40. I really appreciate how there's color. There's a color change for the background of each question, so you can differentiate each question better. I really appreciate that detail. 38. Seasons are caused by the Earth orbiting the Sun in elliptical path. Earth orbiting the Sun in elliptical path. Okay. I feel like this is something that, yes, is true. Well, we'll see. I think true, let's say 75%, 75, or 85%. I want to say 75%. I want to have at least a little bit of doubt with that. 39. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. I feel like that is very true. And that, I feel that is 100%. Because I haven't heard of anything bigger, all my life. So that's really what I think. Or 95%. 40. The atoms in a solid are more densely packed than the atoms in a gas. No. Wait. Yes. I believe it's true. Actually. Nor do I believe it's false. I believe it's true. This isn't even a trick question. I believe it's true. The atoms in a solid. Or are atoms all... Is it the atoms that make it? Like, I'll say... If I don't know this answer, it's okay if I say no. How certain am I? It makes sense. I think I'll go 75% with this because I feel like this is something that makes sense to me. I do second guess myself sometimes, but there are some things that I feel like it's worth kind of having a strong kind of stance about. So I'll go by 75% sure for the last one. Alright, so that's the test. Okay, going on, moving forward. Let's see what happens. Wow, so I just scored myself, and it's interesting because in the first section I missed 3. And the second part I missed 2. Third section I missed 3. And the last section I missed 5. And a lot of that was I put 55% on like almost everything except the one thing that I got 100%, that was true. The one that I was 75% on though was actually false. And it was that, I believe that one was the oil. So, okay, so I missed that. And that was also my pride, I think, stepping in. But all the things that I put that was 100%, 75%, those were true. 39 and 40. So that was actually great. Okay, so let's calculate these and to see what this means about how I scored myself in my certainty. Okay, this is crazy. So yeah, I just did the first column for 55%, and the percent times that I was right was 50%. So, that's go me, you know. Oh man, this is interesting. Like I don't want to get too much of a big head because I'm like, oh yeah, I did it right. I had good judgment call, but let's just keep going. Next 65. All right, and for 65%, I got 6 out of 6 right. So I was actually 100% with my 65% certainty. Holy mother! So with my 75%, I'm actually 75% accurate. So that's crazy. So 55% certainty, I'm 50% correct. 75% certainty, I'm 75% correct. The only thing so far is the 65%, the things that I wasn't kind of sure on, was still 100%, which is crazy. And that's for 6 questions. So let's see, 85 and 95. Oh boy, this is really, whoa! Okay, I can't get too much of a big head though, see? Because let's see what happens with the 85 and 95. We'll see what happens. Okay, and so with the 85%, I was 100% accurate, and with the 95%, I was 80% accurate. So those two flipped, which is interesting because with my strong confidence, those two are flips. So basically, yeah, wow, that's amazing. I had 100% accuracy on my 85%, and I had 80% accuracy on my 95%. So overall, I would say that the thing that was the most, and this could have been from luck too, but the thing that I was 65% sure of, we're actually 100% sure. So I might be, so my analysis of this is that I might be selling myself short a little bit with some of the things that I'm not confident with, but for the vast majority of everything else, it's pretty accurate, which kind of just stunning for me. I'm like, oh my god. 55% was 50% exact, like that's it. 75% was exactly 75, and the 85 and 95% were just flipped. So, that is ridiculous. So, okay, let's keep going. I'm impressing myself. I don't want to get too big of a head from this, because I think that's part of having good judgment call is really like, yeah, really interesting. So if I have good judgment call, let's posit a question. Chances that the author is going to actually listen to this and respond, 30% is my guess for that. So am I willing to bet on that? Why not bet? I know that the next thing, a bet can reveal how sure you really are, but 30%, you know. This is interesting though, very interesting. It's interesting just to be like, okay, so like what are the chances of this and that, and then you get to see what the percentage is and what the likelihood is. So yeah, interesting. But wow, this was one heck of a test. It took me like 1 hour and 5 minutes so far to, or 1 hour and 6 minutes right now to just get to this point. Wow, that's quite something though. Well, we'll see what happens. So here we go. Okay, well, That was pretty crazy. Yeah, no, the only thing jarring about this graph is the 65, where I'm like not really certain, but I was 100% sure. When I look at the graph, I actually plotted my own graph. Um, I'm very happy with the results. You know, well done. Um, but yeah, the 65%. Wow, that was very interesting. That's very interesting. Um, but yeah, we can calibrate and we can get better at it if we continue practicing. And this is great. I'm very happy. I feel like I'm good, but I don't want to, again, part of it is knowing when to have a big head and not to have a big head. And right now, it's like, okay, interesting. Maybe I was lucky. Chances are I was lucky with a lot of this. I think 30%. I keep saying 30%. But I feel like, it could be that I'm lucky. How much of it is due to me just being really good at knowing myself? I guess maybe it is, if I would say that it's how much I know about myself. See, when you frame it a different way, it kind of makes you think of it differently. Is it more luck or is it more myself? Yeah, if it was 30% luck, it would be 70% me, right? That sounds about right to me. The 65%, that definitely. Oh yeah. No, that adds up. So okay, interesting. Okay, so next section. A bet can reveal how sure you really are. Interesting. Let's see. This next section is really, really cool. A bet can reveal how sure you really are, because what ends up happening is that there's reputation on the line, there's money on the line, there's all these different things on the line, and sometimes people will say things to sugarcoat or whatever, but if there's some skin in the game, will that statement still hold up? Are you really willing to put your money where you talk? So that is really the truth, is that people, when they know risk is involved, they'll change. And even when you're in a funk, you might think you're in a funk for a long time, but if you were to bet yourself, or let's see, so Julia actually does something kind of clever, or I think it's, let's see, press secretary. Her press secretary did something clever with this book. Shout out to awesome press secretary. But posing the question, well, if you were to bet that you were going to be in a funk for like a week from now, what would your bet be? Or it doesn't have to be a week. It could be like a month from now, or like 2 months from now. You can bet yourself out of being in a funk, which I think is a super awesome technique, by the way. Super, super cool. So that's, the whole thing about betting. So this section is very, very cool, because you use this test, the equivalent bet test, to quantify how confident you are on your chances of success. You can take any bet, anything at all, and then you can pit that bet against drawing it could be a ball, or it could be a stick, or it could be anything, but a 1 in 4 chance of drawing a winning ticket, basically. So for example, the idea of, okay, I could, how much do you bet your friend's gonna win, or how much do I bet my friend is going to be a millionaire in the next 5 years? Like, and then, so that's one part. So you bet, like, okay, I bet my friend will be a millionaire in 5 years, versus, would you rather put a bet on that, or would you take your chances on there are 10 tickets in a jar. You draw one of those tickets. One of them is the winning ticket. And you will win the same bet as if you were betting on your friend to be a millionaire. Which do you choose? The 1 out of 10 ticket? Or do you go like, oh, no, my friend. So let's say I'm like, I'd rather place my bet on my friend. This is being very optimistic. I bet my friend will be, a millionaire in 5 years. Actually, that might not be too optimistic. I mean, like 5 years is a long time. But anyways, though, it depends on your friend too. So faith in my friend. So it's like, no, I'd rather bet on my friend. It's like, okay, well, now there's 2 tickets in the jar. If you pick one jar, so you can either, put your hand in the jar and it's a 50-50 chance you could win it, you could win the bet. Would you still bet, would you choose that, or would you choose your friend being a millionaire in 5 years? And if you still say yes, that is one hell of a thing. So then it becomes disproportionate. So then you go like, okay, well, let's say that you have 4 tickets in the jar. 3 of these tickets are winning tickets. There's only 1 that is, won't make you win. You have a 75% chance of winning. 75% chance that you're going to win this bet. Would you rather bet on this, or would you bet on your friend becoming a millionaire in 5 years? That to me will be like, oh, okay, that's hard for me. Okay, so there you go. So what does that mean? So like if you're like, oh, they're about the same. You're kind of in conflict. I don't know which one I should choose. In that case, what that means is when you quantify things, it's like, you're like, I believe 75%, I'm 75% certain that my friend will be a millionaire within 5 years. Okay, now let's look at the graph that I put out there. What's my 75%? Oh, my 75% is right on the money. What the? You know what? I didn't do that on purpose. But like my predictions with 75% were like 100% correct. So okay, there you go. No, but see, that's the idea of the equivalent bet test. You can wow, forecasting. We'll see in 5 years. I'll make another video, right? 5 years from now. So what day is it today? April 27th. When I'm recording this, I may upload it, at a future date. But it is noon, April 27th, 2021. It also happens to be someone's birthday today, so I can use their birthday as kind of like a land. Yeah, 5 years from now. So 5 years from now, we'll see. Yeah, there we go. So the internet is my witness. So there we go. All right. So awesome section. And this is what's great. I just finished it, reading the end. And, I mentioned in my very first video that I kind of first came in here and stumbled upon Julia's TED Talk because my friend wanted to join or to get into the stock market. And he wanted to make wise decisions. So we had a conversation about making good judgment calls, and that's what brought us here. And in the end, Julia is basically saying that, all of these, what I basically went through when I was deliberating, when I was wrestling, predicting, and trying to like figure out what is my true assessment of myself, earlier, it was actually very, very, it's kind of akin to what someone at a board of directors is doing when they're trying to scrutinize, the next step for their company. And not only are these skills very useful, but being aware of how they can be used and how you can calibrate your ability to see reality so that you can be more accurate with when you call the shots. basically. So, with that said, I think we're good for this chapter. I'm really excited. 5 years, 5 years, we'll see. 5 years, you know, it's a funny thing about time. It goes by fast and slowly at the same time. Looking back and seeing my video from 2008, talking about, my thoughts of success back then, seeing myself in 2016, and even talking now in 2021, this is really like a time capsule, just capturing snippets of the passages of time for me. In 5 years, yeah, if YouTube is still around, we'll see this back. We'll see how it is. Alright. Well, anyways, have a good one and have a great day.